So we make home inspection software. So most people don't know that this is a little big industry in the real estate space. And so
Yeah.
it's the mechanisms and software behind what inspectors do to present to home buyers and agents. So our vision is wanting every agent and home buyer in the country to know what a modern home inspection report should look like. And
Hmm.
we want to be the dominant player in the home inspection software space. So that's our little vision within the industry. But we want our reports to be seen by millions and millions of home buyers and agents to help them make decisions better about their home.
Yeah.
And as we created these tools for home inspectors, we started to realize that some of them were actually helping agents and clients better negotiate the buy of a home and better negotiate the terms and what gets
Hmm.
fixed, what doesn't. And they were doing it quicker with our reports. And so we started to realize it was bigger than just creating a tool for home inspectors to do their job. We're actually playing a small role in the process.
Yeah, for sure.
And the piece we play a role in big time for the agents is when they get the home inspection report back and look at it, we
Hmm.
give them a couple tools to basically generate a form that they need to give to the selling agent
Hmm.
to negotiate discount on the house. And one other piece to the vision, I'm going to just
Hmm.
like jump on this because it's on
Yeah.
top of mind lately. I've been listening to a book, or I just finished a book called Delivering Happiness
Hmm.
by the Zappos CEO and founder, I think Tony Hsieh, his name. And
Hmm.
um, it's like infusing a lot into our culture what they have, which is basically being we want to be a kick-ass service company. Like we want to like do more than the average and go above and beyond when it comes to serving people and just being good humans basically, and providing a higher standard just for what people come to expect from customer service. And I think
Hmm.
that's like that's an area you got to really go deep in to get there, because everyone says, oh, we have great customer service. Like, no, I want it to be like legendary. And so
Yeah.
that's a kind of a new thing that I'm bringing to our team, and trying to really just talk about more and say, like, can we just constantly be looking at how to do things better and treating each other better and treating our customers better and partners. And so
Hmm.
yeah, that's kind of a new part to our vision.
So next question. I kind of had seen through the nature of your product, like you work, as I said, really closely with many small businesses, namely inspectors or
Mhm.
contractors. So how have you seen the needs of small businesses change over the years? Um, and maybe where do you see or feel like there's still room to improve in that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I've seen technology, obviously, with the pace of
Yeah.
SaaS products, being able to outsource certain parts of your business. I've seen a growing sophistication in terms of how contractors and home inspectors specifically are thinking about their business. So,
Mhm.
granted, it's at a slower pace than maybe the rest of technology or finance or other industries where you're seeing rapid advances, but they're still coming along. And so I think looking at ways to either outsource or find virtual, assistants, or finding a bookkeeping service, things like just anything that they don't enjoy doing. It's never been easier to outsource it and outsource it effectively and
Yeah.
communicate, do Zooms with partners, with anyone that's helping you run your business. And I think it's
Mhm.
driven the cost down overall for these other services and technologies. And so I think just being able to automate and scale and think about your business as if it was a big business, it's never
Mhm.
been easier for small businesses to do that. I think it's just an education thing, and making sure they all understand how easy it is sometimes to find
Mhm.
design services. You want a logo made? Cool. You can have 100 people make a mock logo for you in like 10 minutes on Fiverr or something like that. So
Yeah.
just the connectedness, I would say, and the sophistication is it's fun to see. And I think it's just at the beginning for people in the trades that
Mhm.
their natural competencies aren't usually in technology or automation or thinking in that
Mhm.
way. Um, and so there's opportunity for companies to come in, and we're seeing that. And then there's also opportunity for existing service providers to say, gosh, every small business needs to know about their books or do their taxes properly or send professional emails before and after their appointments. Just all of these things that you think are a given aren't being done by a lot of small businesses. So that screams
Yeah.
opportunity.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we see that a lot too. Even you'll like Matthew and Kenji, the founders of Acuity, they have a podcast series, kind of YouTube show called Drink While You Think, and they talk a lot about that, of how we see that in the accounting industry. A lot of people, like, if you're in a little niche, it might be like, oh yeah, like people are super adopting the technology in our industry. Like we're past the beginning. We're going, further than that. But for so many other people, probably I think the majority in our industry, really, they need to be educated on the tech side of things still.
Yeah.
So it's a lot about like, how do you make that more accessible? I think a lot of it is probably just time. Like people
Exposure,
don't have the
time. Yeah.
To teach themselves every little thing like that. But then that brings you back around to the subject of outsourcing, right? And like how much you can save going that route. So
yeah. And time versus money. I think like
mm-hmm.
every smart business or business person thinks about not only money is the only currency, but like, okay, what time do I save and what's the ROI on everything? And that's part of what we're trying to do, is educate them to think that way. Because I think growth gets held back every time you're like, I don't want to spend $5 for that service, even though it could save you an hour a day. That's a steal.
So you kind of brought that up a little bit in your answer just there, turning to the importance of finances as a small business. I saw that part of the features you guys include, or it's pretty cool. You have like revenue tracking, payment processing, and even like mileage tracking for expenses on the job. So I would say, in what ways have you seen such modern financial resources and tools help your customers?
It sharpens everything up for them in terms of knowing your financials and knowing your numbers. And I think that it's unbelievable to me when I hear of or see a friend or someone that's running a business, and I just ask a basic question. They're just like, oh, what's your cash flow? What's your revenue? Like, are you, how are you doing financially? And they don't have answers and they don't know. And so I think providing these tools, you're just, one, making people's lives easier and solving a problem. But two, you're helping them know their business better so they can run it better. And that's part of the, I guess, some of the, maybe the value we don't even realize sometimes that we're giving. It's not just, okay, you do your inspection reports. It's, okay, you're running a sound business and you need to know your profit margins and run it the right way. So yeah, I'm actually feeling, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. That is pretty good. That is like a good additional tools to give people.
Yeah. Kind of here at the end, I always like to ask if there's anything in particular that you're excited for in the upcoming year in 2020. It could be initiatives, projects, new products, or anything else. And then alongside of that, if there's any areas where you could use help from others or like the community ask, we like to do that and we'll share it out.
Love it. So we are excited about extending our tools out even more to real estate agents to help them book inspections even faster and make their lives a little easier on that front. So we'll be building a real estate agent app. So an app that realtors can use to book their favorite Spectora inspectors across the country and in any city. So that's really exciting. And then also just looking at how we can keep innovating, whether it's like the FaceTime type technology, whether inspectors are at homes or they're maybe doing it virtually through, there's particular technologies we're looking at and talking to that a homeowner can sit there and pull up their water heater on their phone and it can literally map out the dimensions of it and tell you the make and model. So it's like spatial recognition technology and the VR, AR type stuff. Wow. And just how that can be weaved into people sitting there looking at their AC, thinking like, what's wrong with this? I need help. Instead of booking someone to come weeks later, it's like, can that stuff be more instant? Can it be more real? You asked about ask of the community. I'm at the point in our, trajectory and career where I love hearing other stories from other, business owners or people within small companies and in particular software companies. And so I love kind of networking and finding mentors, seeking out mentors and being a mentor. I'm kind of in that in-between, space right now where there's people above and below that I love chatting with. So I think like just making time for those human connections, because we're all heads down doing our jobs, trying to grow our businesses, trying to do the best job we can, but reaching out. I think whether that's social media and email and just being persistent with each other, because I know we all get busy, but once I do connect with another business, it's always refreshing. It's always fun to chat and hear stories and
and it's
maybe meet up at conferences.
Yeah, I'm like, we all have really great lessons to, share with each other. And I'm always thinking of like, I have a question, someone else has come before me and answered it. Right. I'll just save so much time by going to that person or looking for that answer rather than trying to experiment and figure it out myself. You can build off of what other people have kind of done before you.
Totally.
Yeah.
So network, reach out. Be a good
Awesome.
person.
Yeah. Perfect. Also, really quickly before we go, I also wanted to say congratulations because I saw you guys recently partnered with Repair Pricer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw in like the last week or something. So, yeah, that's exciting and
That's a
cool.
fun one for home buyers because it's something that they get the inspection report, and the next question is always, how much does it cost to fix all this stuff? That's
Right.
a service that can immediately send them a report with all
Mhm.
those costs or estimates to fix stuff.
Lastly, I always want to ask kind of where can folks connect with you on social media?
Yeah, we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I think Instagram is Spectora_software. And
Okay.
then on Facebook, we have just a general Spectora home inspection software group.
Okay.
But yeah, we're getting more and more active because obviously our demographic is still figuring out kind of Instagram and social media and all that. But yeah, we have a team now that's working primarily on that.
Awesome. Well, have a great rest of your day and week.
All right, Kai, appreciate it. You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.